Okay, we are live. Live, live, live. And I am just getting all my lives going. Okay. What's up, Mr. JB? How are you? Long time no see. Well, today's live is going to be about live call. All right. So let me see how I can basically not hear myself talk. All right, so we are out here getting it done. Hello, Mr. Schulman. Long time no see. Jay Lynn, how are you? You know, I cannot believe to see you right there. Great to see you. Great to see you all. Thank you for joining my live today. I'm going to try to go live every day, but my goal today is to basically show you behind the scenes. What are we doing behind the scenes? We are closing out our last $5 million of this $25 million fund. And of course, I have to tell you, this is for accredited investors only. I have to tell you, I'm going to make calls. And what I'll do is when I have sensitive information that's happening, I'm going to, basically mute my live. Okay. So I have to make calls today and I had to go live because I told myself I was going to go live for at least 5 days a week. And so that means I need to do that, right? So you make a commitment, you get it done. And it's not easy to make these commitments. So please drop your comments. I want to know if you have any questions for me. And of course, we've got my new book. It's out on Kindle, coming soft cover and hardcover very soon. But buy income strategy. You want to drop buy income in the comments there. And that's going to give you the link to buyincome.com, which you could just go there as well. But at least if you drop your the comment buy income, you'll get into my system and then you'll get all of the information on our latest deals. So I've got a bunch of people to call and I said, you know what? I've got to go live and I've got a bunch of people to call and I'm just going to do all that at the same damn time. Okay. So let's see. Does anyone have any questions just yet? All right. No comments. So let me get to it. All right, so I have a group of us that are all in the M&A because this last $5 million is literally to close out our M&A. So if the entire fund was supposed to be 80% multifamily apartments, institutional level multifamily apartments. We've accomplished that. We've got 800 doors. So it was not easy, and I can only raise as deals are closing because even though we are a closed fund and all the money goes into one pool, it's still something where I have to have a deal and then I say, hey, okay, like this concrete company we're closing next month. We need 1.3 million to close on that deal. So part of that last $5 million in the fund is going to go to close that deal. So 1.3 million is actually buying us equity, a little over, let's see, 10 over 20% equity in four different companies. So that is phenomenal, and that's an industrial infrastructure roll up. So if you don't know what a roll up is when it comes to businesses, And I cover all of this in the buy income strategy. The reason why we're now diversifying into businesses is because I learned from Ray Dalio, the holy grail of investing, that the only way for me to change this entire cycle of going up and then coming back down on this roller coaster and riding the real estate wave, okay, I changed from going single family to small multifamily. I changed from going small multifamily to now large multifamily. Then I changed from just investing in the Northeast to investing, in the Southeast and below the Sun Belt because those are landlord friendly states. A place like Texas, you literally are going to get thrown out in 2 weeks, like if you don't pay your rent. No, they do not play, or a place like Florida, like, you get someone out in 30 days if you just follow everything. We had some tenants in Florida that we had to experience that with. And as usual, I was too nice for too long. And so it actually took us 3 months to get them out. But the only reason why it took 3 months is because I was very lenient, like, okay, all right, here's the notice. I'm gonna give you 30 days instead of a week. And but you don't have to be that lenient. And once we meant business and we understood that those tenants were just going to keep on doing what they were doing. And this is on a single family home, one of our rooming houses. But on the bigger stuff, property management, it's all institutional. So on those 800 doors, we don't have those problems anymore. I don't physically have to talk to people and find out what's going on with them. And so that's how I've pivoted to the next level with this Clearview Eastern Fund. So we've accomplished those 800 doors, and we've got a nice income coming from that for our investors. And it's so funny because who knew that when you run a fund, the investors own everything. They get all the money. So the money comes in, goes back out, and yeah, we own a piece of it. But really, being a fund manager has been like my job is to raise capital and look at deals and then put it together for the retirement of everyone. So, that's what I talk about in the buy income strategy. It is buying cash flowing properties, cash flowing investments. I give you 27 different low risk, mid risk, and high risk ideas on how to buy income because real estate is not the only thing. And so that's why we are also diversifying with uh, investing alongside other um, investing alongside people buying businesses. So in the M&A side, this is the last 20%. We've got a healthcare roll up. We've got an industrial infrastructure roll up. So industrial infrastructure is most of Texas. It's an excavation company. It's a concrete ready mix company. It's a utility company. It's a construction company. And so that's what those guys are doing. They have amazing 40 years of experience and plus on that team. And then we've got the healthcare roll up. That healthcare roll up is a behavioral mental health behavioral mental health company. We have a health and wellness company and two health and wellness companies. So that's that roll up. Then we also have a nursery that we're closing. And that nursery is in Florida. And this is like they sell tropical foliage. So those are all three totally different. Oh, and there's an HVAC company, another one that's an HVAC company, and that's going to be a home services roll up. So right now we're looking at a water company. We don't have no accepted LOI on the water company, but just to give you an idea, that particular operator is looking at a water company. Where, we have an accepted letter of intent ready to close. A HVAC and refrigeration company. It did 2 million last year. This quarter, it's already done 2 million. So it's just like exponentially growing. The concrete company, that's a $6.8 million in top line revenue, $1.8 million in net operating income. So Let me hit these phones. I got a few calls to make. We got a lot of closings happening in April, and one of the first calls that I have to make is to our title officer for one of those closings because we're doing a short sale on a single family, and that title officer should have gotten us the information already. And the lender is like ready to close and wanted to close before Passover next week. So let me see what is going on with Miss Lady here.
Thank you for calling Blue.
Okay, so I'm gonna just text her. Hey, we are waiting on the HUD statement. Are you gonna get that out today? The lender is ready to close, and the bank is wondering where that HUD is. All you need to do is take off the HOA and back out to us. I didn't see it today. Did I miss it? Question mark. So she already gave us a HUD. However, she put that there was an HOA and there's no HOA on the deal at all. We also got a term sheet today from a lender. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you about this term sheet. So this is on the tropical foliage deal. And this term sheet was postmortem. Okay. I already knew we only were gonna get like 50 to 65% LTV. So there's like 66 acres in this acquisition. And the way we structured it at first was to do SBA and then do SBA and then do a real estate loan. So it was supposed to be two separate loans, one for the business, and the business does $3 million in top line revenue with net operating income of about 900K. So that company kept the operators, the buyers, the guys that we're investing alongside. They kept trying to do SBA, then they tried to do USDA because there's a lot of agricultural land. And in that part of Florida, that's basically what they do. And so I said, you know what? Let me try. And they just kept running into walls. It wasn't enough money, and they just keep not closing. So I said, let me deal with the debt. We'll bring the equity, but let me try for the debt. So we've got two approvals. But one of them that came in was crazy. So this company wants 13.5% interest. They only want to do like 57% LTV, loan to value. So for the entire purchase of just all the land and the structures on the parcels, it's 11.5 million. So out of that 11.5 million, they want to fund. Basically, that term sheet says there will fund about, I think it's 6.9 million. But what happens at the table is the seller is only going to get 5.7 million. So it's interesting. It's a bridge loan, and that bridge loan but it also includes 1 year of interest reserve. So the payments will be already paid, with that and finance into the loan. I don't know. What do you think? Is that a good deal? When you hear 13.5%, 13.5% is a lot. What do you think? I was like, is that where we are now? 13.5%. So I am just like looking at your comments. But that was the highest interest I have seen in the last 6 months. Hard money loans have been coming in somewhere between 8 and 11.5%. So that was interesting. Okay, and then the other thing that happened is that on closing the SBA deal for the concrete company, I found that I was just asked whether or not um, our fund is owned by, it has capital coming in from US citizens and no foreign investors. I had to respond, yes, that it's owned by people that that are all US citizens. However, I wonder if they're going to ask me for a list of investors because that probably is not going to happen. Okay. All right. So I have this investor who showed interest. Hey, David, when can we hop on a call? Okay. And let me get some people on the phone for you guys. And this is what it is, a daily grind. I know I saw uh, Miss Jolene on there, and she knows we have sat there and made all kinds of calls together. And it's what it is. You got to keep on making calls. So basically, let me see. Okay, I hate saying so basically because you don't have anything to say, and then you say something. Let me see.
Sorry, we cannot complete the
Oh,
call
how
as
can you not complete the call? That doesn't make sense. Let me make sure. And that sounded like such a weird. We cannot complete the call. See, I knew this was going to happen where we have dead silence in my life, but it is what it is. Pick up, pick up, pick up. You can't hear me? No way. You can't. Oh, hi. Is this Corey?
yes, it is.
Hey, Corey. This is Tanae Williams. Long time no chat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been a long time. It has been a long time. How have you
Yes,
been?
I have been wonderful. So I was just calling whether or not you might be interested in taking a look at some of the deals that we're closing.
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I see. Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we have right now a concrete company that is closing next month. And we have,
Oh, nice.
yes, and that's out of Texas. It's got top line revenue of 6.8 million, and it's making $1.8 million a year. It's Rick Steele. Do you know Rick?
I feel like I remember that name, but I'm not putting this name to the face yet. It's at the conference. Yeah, okay, okay. I
Hmm.
do remember that name. I do remember that name. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so he's doing an industrial infrastructure roll up. And
Well,
yes, so we have a percentage. So we're raising the capital. We're closing with another $1.3 million to close that deal. So we wanted to kind of see, if anyone in the community wants to join us as partners. But our fund is a fund, so we're a private equity fund. We've got about 800 doors of multifamily apartments. And when you invest in this fund, deployed to that, you actually have benefit of everything that we're doing. So we're
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yes, so we are using the last 5 million total. Going to close that deal and a few others that are in the community as well. The last 5 million is all M&A from DWS.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
Mhm.
How would I be able to partner with you guys?
I can send you some information so you can start looking at due diligence and all of that. And if you have any, then I can send you the data room, if you want to move forward. And it's that simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay. What's your email address? Oh,
My email address. Yeah.
yeah, if you can just
Did you
text
get
it.
it already or no?
I have it in
Oh.
the group. If you could just text it to me, that'd be perfect.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to text it on WhatsApp or actual text to your phone?
Either way, doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Got it.
All right,
I've been having
Corey.
some problems with my phone, so I'm just like,
Well,
but yeah, okay.
are you in?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, are you in pitch comp too?
No.
Okay.
No, actually, I haven't. I'm not in that one.
Oh, okay.
I remember there was an opportunity to join, but I
Mhm.
was not able to at the time. But, yeah.
No problem. So, what are you working on? Because I don't remember. Like, what kind of deals were you looking at?
I was looking at food manufacturing
Oh.
deals, just for the what was it? I guess you could say. Man, my brain is fried. I just came back from vacation.
Well, that's good. Vacation is great. Where'd you go?
Morocco.
Ooh,
I
Morocco.
know.
That sounds like
Yeah,
fun. How many days?
it was. So it was 8 days in
Ooh.
Morocco.
Ooh, that sounds like so much fun. Well, guess where I am right now?
Oh, where you at? Are you in Europe?
I am actually not in Europe, but I'm next door in Africa in Nairobi.
Hey,
Hey.
that's always good.
So, yeah, so I am. So it is like right now it's 9:17 p.m. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm still handling business over on US time, and it's just a lot of fun. And I got to stay up a little. I think my day basically ends at 11, so it's like it starts at 3 to
Oh,
11, and then I get to experience the country and the just everything going on here in Nairobi. There's a bunch of real estate deals I'm looking at here. I actually have to go to the beach
yeah.
side. Yep. Guess what? You could get a whole brand new condo for $60,000. 2 bedrooms,
Yeah,
2.5
I've
baths.
heard of that.
Mhm.
So you about to get some?
I
You
am.
about to stack them up?
I am.
Oh,
So my son lives here. So he's already
oh,
he's
oh
already
my
doing
God.
he's already doing Airbnb. We came for his wedding in November, and then now we're just I'm like, "I'll be back." And so now I just got back like 2 weeks ago. Mhm.
Oh, nice. Okay, okay.
Yeah, because 8 days is
I'm
never
glad you
enough. I came for 10 days last
know.
time, and it's never enough because you got the long flight. So really, you only have
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe last time it was 10 days, and I just felt like we came, we did some things for 3 days and left, but it was 10
Pretty much.
days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But you recover. It's the you recovering time. And then
right.
you're like decompressing. And then, yes, I totally understand.
Yes. So I really, so this time I said, no, I'm coming and I'm going to get an Airbnb for 30 days, and that's what I'm doing. So, and yeah. So it's fun. So I enjoy it. It's really a new atmosphere, but everybody's doing the same thing. It's like I sat today at the local cafe, and other people, this is like my trend. I have a trend of sitting at cafes and working. So no matter where I am, so I'm like the cafe queen. So I found my cafe home, and I was like, oh look, there's other people also doing it. So cool.
Yeah. It just gets inspirational when there's a group with you.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, myself.
Yeah, no, you're right. Exactly. All right, Corey. So I'll wait for that text and I'll get that right out.
All right. Thank you so much for
Okay.
including me in. I
Yes,
appreciate you.
ma'am.
And enjoy the rest of your time in Nairobi.
I will. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Like,
Okay, bye. Well, that was a success, huh? And that's so awesome. So anyway, when it comes to investors, right now I'm calling people that are already in my group. So they already know me, and we're all like already in the M&A space. So I'm going to, and we all, we're working with the same coach. So we know each other. So it's not so much where, it's like, oh, there's just going to be, there's just going to be, and you know what's so funny? Okay, so I muted, and so we know each other. What's funny is like I muted. Okay, so I wonder. Okay. Hey, I see that you just joined Web Money King. Thank you so much for joining. Could you please tell me whether you can hear me? Let me see. Jolyn can tell me if, because I got your number, so I'm about to call and see. So I had to, so I'm using StreamYard, and with StreamYard, like I can't tell what's happening. So let me call Jolene because she needs to be called anyway. Okay. So you can hear me now?
Yes, it's been long overdue.
What's up, girl?
So, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So funny.
We got to
I know. So now you got to mute me over there.
Okay. There you go. I got you.
So yeah, I'm just like on doing these calls. Okay, so what happened was there's.
I'm enjoying it right now.
Are you? That's good. So did you hear my conversation with the last investor?
Yeah.
Okay, because it was like you said you couldn't hear me, and I wasn't sure.
Well, in the beginning.
Oh.
In the beginning, I had to go back out and come back in.
Okay, because I wasn't sure because I muted my computer because there's a delay. I'm using StreamYard. So one is like live on YouTube, and then the Instagram, there's like a slight delay. So I'm like, okay, what's happening? Yeah. So I didn't know. And I muted my laptop so I didn't have to hear my echo, but then you said you couldn't hear me. So what you been up to? Well, you're on live, so I'll call you back later unless you want to be talking about the investment.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just sitting right now, just hearing you out.
Okay.
Kind of seeing what you're into and what you're doing, and just taking some information. Just
okay. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
I'm always down to learn and just hear, different pitches and different tones and. Kind of see where you're at in life. The world's changing.
Exactly, and you as well. So I will call you back after this live and catch up, and I'm gonna keep making investor calls.
Okay, I'm gonna watch for a little bit more.
All right, thanks. Okay. Later.
All right, we'll talk later. Bye.
Okay, so yeah, that is my girl. We have some few different business dealings together, and that's what's nice about like Instagram and Facebook and all of this. Like you see, I just spoke to that young lady and she's like immediately like, hey, what's up? Long time no chat, because investors come from people that so and it's so funny, I never really had any of you online actually invest. So if you want to surprise me and show me how you're going to be my first investor to come offline, not someone that we already knew. Because I tell you, we already knew so many people. Everyone that I'm working with, like I already know them, and I met them at a conference or I met them somewhere. Okay, so it's usually a conference, or we're part of the same group. Okay, so I always love this guy when I call him, and I love him because his name is Hiroto. And I always say this to him, and you're gonna see, because it makes me think of that show Hero. I mean, no, yeah, Heroes. So he's an Asian guy. His name is Hiroto.
Hello?
Hiroto, how are you?
Good.
Wonderful.
Today.
It's today, yes. So how have you been?
Good, good. I'm busy at, lunch and fun. But how are you?
That's great. Well, I'm calling you about our fund because we have the last 5 million. I don't know if you know, we had a $25 million fund. Our first 20 million was deployed on all multifamily apartments, and now I was in the DWS community because the purpose was for us to invest alongside operators to buy these businesses, and we've got a few that are closing. So we're raising the last 5 million. We've got a deal from someone in the community, needs 1.3 million to close, another deal that needs another 1.1. So it's a concrete company. That top line revenue is 6.8 million, NOI of 1.8. So it's a strong deal. And then we've got a healthcare roll up, like a landscape nursery roll up. That's what's going on. So what kind of what's your fund? What's your fund going to be? What's it raising capital for?
Yeah, so I'm still in the planning stage, but yeah, maybe well my strategy is like private equity, buying, because that's why I joined Dealmaker. And so we try to partner with some deal proteges, maybe start with some syndications, or to build some small deals, but not small deal, but some track record. But yeah, we are talking about some potentially like some music school deals and other like power plant. Yeah, something I'm working on. But really, recently, the AI stuff is really amazing for me. So I'm working on building a system. But yeah, so
Building a thesis on the AI, on the AI side.
Hmm?
Building a thesis on the
Yeah,
AI
like,
side. Okay.
no, not like no, like I'm talking about building a system for our firm. Like, agents stuff. Yeah.
Oh, building the AI agents. Yes, you're using GHL.
Yeah. Like I'm using what?
GHL. Go high level.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about OpenClaw?
Yeah, of course. Like that's the main thing, right? Right now, everyone is talking about that.
I know.
Yeah.
Have you tried to use it yet? Have you did you try it yet? I haven't tried it yet. I mean, we haven't.
I mean, because it has some security.
I know.
Issues, right? So
Yes.
I'm cautious about it, but ultimately, I think everyone use it, and so I'm exploring like how can we implement it. Yeah.
Yes, me too. So with the AI agentics conversation, the main thing I'm trying to understand is how, whether or not it can build workflows. Because if it can build workflows, so I've done some homework. It looks like everybody's talking about putting it on a iPad Mini, on a Mac Mini. I mean, Mac Mini.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
put it on a Mac Mini by itself and, then give it limited information. And so, yeah, we're
Yeah.
looking at it because, if you're not using AI in your systems and processes right now, obviously you are so behind.
Yeah. So behind. Yeah.
So behind. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like you're building a fund to do what we're already doing. You should just join in and invest with us. Is that something you might consider?
Well, thank you for for the invitation. And I'm open to any partnership. If I can contribute
Yeah.
value to your.
Yeah, so our fund, the minimum investment is 100K, but we can do, we're trying to just put 6 more investors together for 250K to close out the concrete company. If you can go ahead and send me your email, I know I might have it, but just text it to me now. I put in our group, I put the presentation. So, and the thing about it, you can invest as an LP, but if you bring us an investor instead, we'll bring you in on the GP side, and you'd have an equity stake on the GP side. And, there is a way that we could work together that way, like maybe as a JV, because of course that's the only way for us to be compliant.
Yeah. As a GP. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm interested in you. So did you put your your deck in the WhatsApp?
Yeah, it's in the WhatsApp. Let me text you. I'm gonna at you in there, and then you'll see the deck. Hold on. I don't know if you happen to, because I put it in there yesterday. So we're buying about $26 million. No, it was Sunday. So it's about 26 million in top line revenue that we're buying in like 7 different companies. And those are all from all from the community.
Well, you have a great team, and
Yeah, well, it's not just that, we've just like you said, to invest alongside, to put a fund together. But I launched this fund 4 years ago in 22, and we spent the first 4 years putting, just multifamily apartments, getting all of those done. And so our investors would be able to reap the rewards of the multifamily apartments. And now we're adding the businesses, which is going to help us, just increase the or lower the risk tolerance for the cycles of the real estate.
Yeah.
But also still give us all of that depreciation. And so, depreciation and bonus depreciation. So it's a nice little offset. And then we've got about 300 million in assets under management with that, with the multifamily part of the fund. And then as we're closing these business acquisitions, we're getting at least, well, we're getting a maximum of 15%. Now, some of them is 20, because of SBA, we can't go above 20%. So most of the deals we're getting between 10 and 15% equity in the deal. And then we have a preferred return of 8%. And everything that we're looking at, the debt service coverage ratio is 1.8 or better. Yeah.
Cool. Bedrock Foundation. Okay. Accelerate. What do you mean accelerate? Oh, the business. Okay. And business 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So this the five. I think this is a real estate fund. Mainly, I think, because in that way you can have more than 100 people. I think it's called 3C.
Oh, you mean our fund? Yeah, our fund is a 506C. It's a Reg D 506C.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 506C. Mm-hmm.
506C and 3C. You know the 365 means you are a real estate fund, and you can have more than 100 people.
But no, it doesn't. It doesn't mean real estate fund. It doesn't mean 506C doesn't mean real estate fund. It just means, yes, we can have more than 100 people, and we can advertise publicly. So the difference between the 506C and the 506B, 506B, you can only speak to friends and family. 506C.
No, I'm not talking about the. I'm not talking about the B and C. I'm talking about the 3C5 or 3C1. Another, but it's a little bit.
501, a 501C.
3C5. 3C5 means you can have more than 100 people.
I don't think I'm restricted to how many investors.
Like if you're a real estate fund and focus on like 80% more, like you have the real estate related, you are a 3C5 fund, and you can have more than 100 people.
Got it.
But
Got it. Yeah. Well, we don't need it because that's why we made our minimum investment of 100K, because I don't want so many investors to deal with. You know, it's so funny because like Grant Cardone does a crowd fund, you know, and we, you know, to take like smaller investments, and we prefer or I prefer to deal with, accredited investors that understand what I'm saying when I'm saying it, you know, because, you know, someone that has experience, because for me to slow down and explain things and risk tolerances, look, the risk of everything that we do. Can you lose your money? Of course. You know, there could be a war with Iran and then we can all lose all of our money, right? So this is what we know, you know. There could be another COVID-19, you know, there could be another pandemic and we lose all of our money, you know, like, so, but when you do something like you have so many, like a crowd fund, maybe only taking investors that have 10,000 and that's their only 10,000, it's very, you know,
crowdfunding. What do you mean by crowdfunding?
Like a crowdfunding.
Oh, crowdfunding.
Yeah, when you take less, you know, you take that's a different filing, and you know, so with our filing, we just chose to work with investors that are like middle class. You know, they're upper middle class. They have great jobs, and or they're business owners. You know, like yourself. And someone that can, you know, that understands the lay of the land when it comes to investing.
So the first deal, I'm looking at your M&A platform acquisition pipeline. It's industrial infrastructure platform.
Yes.
Texas. Is it the concrete company?
Yes. It's out of Texas. Yeah, it's a 27-year-old company.
Okay.
And the seller is staying on for 6 months to onboard, you know, everyone, the operators. I'll send you information on the operators. I don't know if you met them. They're in the group. But they just phenomenal experience, 40 plus years experience. So they're doing an industrial infrastructure roll up. And so that industrial infrastructure, the concrete company, all the debt is approved. It's SBA and conventional. And so it is a 6 times multiple purchase, but it's a 6.8 million top line revenue business, 1.8 million bottom line revenue. So, it's definitely something that.
So you are buying this with SBA?
So yeah, it's SBA and conventional, the operators, and then we're just coming in as the private equity for the down payment.
Unconventional.
No, it's both. It's actually both. It's both SBA and conventional, pari passu.
What do you mean conventional?
Well, it's a regular bank. So it's bank financing and SBA.
Okay.
So SBA is doing 5 million. And the other bank is doing another 5 million. Pari passu. So which means they basically are both going on the first lien debt together.
Okay, I'm happy to help you. Maybe I can introduce you some investor or raise money. But for SBA, because I'm a Canadian, I don't know if I can join the team.
Oh no! Well, that's why if you're investing in the fund, then my investors in the fund, that's a different conversation. Than the
as an LP, right?
Right, as an LP. So you would be able to invest in the fund, and it wouldn't have direct. To be honest, we just got a question today from SBA about who our partners were in the fund. So because they asked that question about foreign money as investors. But if you're an LP in our fund, and then we create a holding company to buy that, I think that it shouldn't, because we're not personally guaranteeing. We're just putting the capital, and we actually in that company have 10%. And there's like 5 other partners. So we'll have 10%, and then the other partners are all personally guaranteeing.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that, but I don't know the SBA loan, the requirement for the LP and the GP, both sides, but
I'll have to talk to our lawyers about it.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I'll talk to the lawyers about it and get back to you. I'll send you the data room so you can actually look at the information. So as an LP, how much would you be able to, or were you thinking of investing? Do you think you would come in at 100K or 250K if it all made sense?
So yeah, I want to be clear with you. I don't have the capital to invest in your fund right now.
Okay.
But if possible, I may want I can help you as a GP side, as sweat equity.
Okay.
But that's something maybe you should talk to your lawyer about.
Yeah, let me find out, because if you're a GP, I think then the scrutiny would begin there. So I have to find out about this. We just got asked that question maybe 2 hours ago. And now we have to have a meeting and see what SBA is asking us. because they asked
Yeah.
if we had any foreign investors, and I'm just like, no, they didn't ask if we had any foreign investors. They said, are the owners of the fund foreigners? And so I didn't really know how to answer that. And I said, well, all of us that are managing the fund are US citizens, but
Okay.
you know, we
Yeah,
definitely
LPs
have,
and
yeah, the
GPs.
LPs, we have some Canadian investors. We have, you know, we have,
Complicated.
yeah, then it got, yeah. So I was like, oh, what does that mean?
Check it out.
Yes. So, okay, well, I'm going to send you that data room and then I'll get back to you as things progress.
Yeah, thank you, Penny.
Thank you. Let's
yeah.
keep in touch.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, that was a great call. And you know, he did sound like he was going to be able to invest. But then, you know, in the end, he said, oh no, I can bring you some investors, but now we've got this complication that he's Canadian and, you know, all of that. So, but we do take EB5 capital. So we have foreign investors in our fund for sure, because we have the EB5 visa that we can help foreigners get. And with the rural deal that we have, the nursery, with that deal, it's in a rural area. So we're able to qualify foreign investors for to invest only $800,000 into that particular project. And if they, with investing that $800,000, they would be able to qualify for the EB5 visa. And the EB5 visa, you know, those requirements have gone up. But because it's in a rural area and we'll be able to employ over 10 people upon our acquisition, that allows us to get investors that are coming. So one of our partners is an attorney, Ashish, and Ashish is always bringing us investors from India. And so, you know, these are things that we're doing. We have, you know, a capital raise. We're actually going to do a big capital raise for investors in India, for investors. I remember a few years ago, we were going after Chinese investors. So either way, you know, this grind of raising capital is not easy. We have to keep it going. Okay, so Corey sent me her info. Let me just go ahead and get that email out because we already got an investor. That was a yes. And I already told her minimum investment is $250K. I forgot to ask her, okay, now is this something you're interested in doing right now? Because that's something I definitely should have said. Like I said to Hiro. Okay, hold on. But it's really nice to be known and to be respected, you know, out there, that, hey, this is the business that we do and this is what we're doing. And so it's really, really awesome to be respected and remembered, you know, because you meet people at conferences. And I do weekly calls. So I do, like, that particular group, I was doing calls all the time. We were looking at deals. And so we did a meetup group within the conference at the last conference, which was, I think, sometime in September. So that's why you see on my Instagram, like, you always see me at a conference because, and that's in my book, that's in the buy. If you have not grabbed Buy Income Strategy, I go 27 ways, okay, to buy passive income. It is, I think I have spilled my guts into that book, spilled, okay, and told you everything that I've learned about being at these conferences with family offices, being around, you know, people that their entire like business is just investing. Being around that space, I learned some new things that I didn't know before. and those of you that have known me for years, like Jolyn, like, who I am. That it was all about like getting a deal and then closing that deal and then getting the tenants and la 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 la. And or it was about, whatever. It's been a long journey. And now we're at a new point. So that new point, we're doing things a little bit differently. And I got to say it again. I am always watching. If I'm playing, they're busy playing chess and I'm playing checkers. I don't want to play checkers. I want to play chess with the big boys. That's why I am a female in a man's world, as usual. Like, why you get to do it? I can do that too. I can do it. Now, I don't want to lift anything or anything like that, but when it comes to pricking up the weights of my brain, don't tell me that I can't do it just because you figured out how to do a credit facility and how to buy this business and how to exit it and all this, and you're become, well, I want to do that too. If you figured out how to do it, I can figure out how to do it. And you can, and this is why we love coaches. This is why I love coaches. I love coaches, because then I can. And so this community that I'm calling people from, we're part of DWS, which is Dealmaker Wealth Society. I dropped it. So Dealmaker Wealth Society is Carl Allen. If you guys look back in the past on my social media posts, you will see me with Carl Allen and his new book. And so I should have Carl pose with me, and so I have a personal signature from Carl. And when my book comes, I should do a pose with Carl, and I'm signing the book with him. That would be perfect. I'm going to do that. So yeah, I'm kind of stokey and weird sometimes, and I lived in California for a little while, so I use words like stoked sometimes when I get excited. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that new Instagram post. Mom, what were you like in the 90s? I was like, I wish I had more pictures. I don't have a lot of pictures from the 90s. I have like a handful of pictures from the 90s. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. I'm going to find some pictures. I got pictures. What were you like in the 90s? That's such a great, and there's times that I wish I have, like, I had a mortgage brokerage in Las Vegas. I wish I have pictures from that. I don't have any pictures. I wish I have pictures when we had, there, I definitely, no, that was 2000s. 90s, you're talking about pictures from LA. I was in Los Angeles around that time. That's really cool too. I was in Los Angeles, and I actually had an office at, I had an office at 6399 Wilshire Boulevard. And I worked for a talent agency. I was about 21. I'll never ever forget getting to interview, what is his name? Oh God, I'm not going to remember his name, but remember the blonde guy from Weird Science? He's still around, and his name is floating in it's something David, like he's got like a 2-name kind of thing. And I interviewed him for a job as a voiceover talent artist. And he came to my office. He was my childhood like crush, like Michael J. Fox. You talking a long time ago. My goodness. Okay, so let me send this data room to her. Adding her. to the data room, number 1. So I have a full data room set up, and the data room has like all of the acquisition due diligence. It has all of our subscription docs in it, and then it has the presentation decks in it. So, the presentation deck that Hiroto was looking at was all about, let me see, was all about the current deal. So, and what we're buying. So if anyone wants more information on that and you're an accredited investor, you can drop the comment buy income in the chat or your comment section or whatever, and then we'll go from there. So as you can see, for me to be talking about stuff that happened like in the 90s, I am not as good as I look. I'm not 35. No. Oh God. I am not 35 years old. I've been at this for a long time. Going through so many ups and downs and coming out on the top. For those of you see my beautiful wall, I love this new wall. This is in my Airbnb that I'm at in Nairobi, Kenya. So I am loving it. I'm like, what? So yeah, as you can see, I'm worldwide, international, doing business all over the world, and enjoying my life while I enjoy the work that I love to do. I love to do it. So, hey, Corey, here's the deck that I put into the WhatsApp group, but I also shared the data room with you where you can deep dive into the due diligence. Please let me know if you have any questions and when we can hop on a call. Congratulations on enjoying Morocco. We've got to go on a trip together, ! Because it is all about trips right now. Working while on vacation, I think, is the best vacation in the world. This is a fact. I do believe that. Like, I was at a cafe earlier, and it was such a wonderful cafe. And I really enjoyed being at that cafe earlier. Now, one thing I won't do, so I'm not going to talk in the public, like at the cafe really, but I was able to be on my laptop. The food was, oh my God. I had, AI is amazing. It's spelled Corey the correct way for this particular person. It's not spelled the way you think it's spelled. And the AI knows that. I don't know how. Okay, so she just got the data room. She texted me. Okay, awesome. And just so you know, I just also sent you an email. So you have both. You've got the data room and you've got that presentation deck. Let me know when we can hop on a call to go over the finer details of the fund and anything else you'd like to know. And by the way, I don't have to be on WhatsApp. You can call me on my regular number as well. I just happen to call you through WhatsApp because I'm calling everyone through the group, and it's just easier to click on the link of the phone number from the group. Okay, so that's done. Hi, Auntie. Sorry for the. Oh, no, you know what? Okay, I had no meetings today. I almost like flipped out. I was like, wait, I didn't look at my calendar. Okay, no, I had no meetings the whole day today, which was crazy. Okay, Sion, sorry, but I was. But would I be able to reschedule the call with you till next Tuesday? Of course! ! Maybe I did have a meeting with Jazzy. Okay, so my wonderful niece, yeah, no, she already rescheduled it. Oh no, okay, she's talking about tomorrow's for next Tuesday. Okay, at the same time, question mark. All right, so this is my life. This is my life. I have to stay focused. Okay, let's stay focused and let's go ahead and call some more people. So we got one investor and we need a minimum of 6 with 250K. It's okay. I'm actually having problems with the phone. Okay, I need to get a new one. So text messages might not. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Well, it was meant to be that I contacted you on WhatsApp then. And smiley face. Okay. So, okay, same works. Okay, I'll deal with Jazzy in a minute. And okay, beachfront property. Okay, so absolutely, I'll share the pin ASAP. Okay, thank you for coming. Once you've viewed the property, so I'm going to look at a property tomorrow in Mombasa. Mombasa, Kenya is the beach side, and there's 25 acres of land that we're going to look at. And I'm going to go, and there's a resort for sale. So there's a resort for sale. The way it works over here is they have freehold land and not freehold, basically. So it's like freehold or not freehold. I forgot I was supposed to go and see the lawyer today. They were supposed to send me. So I went, I just started walking into real estate, into lawyers' offices to learn the lay of the land here. And I got a whole earful last week, and I was supposed to have a follow-up conversation today, but they don't have any follow-up game. They didn't even call me like, hey, just calling to make sure you're coming, because then I could have remembered. It's supposed to be on the 25th. Alexa, what's today's date?
It's March 25th, 2026.
That's today. That's I missed it. So, or maybe it's okay. I'm going to call and find out when I was supposed to go back to see the lawyer, but I already found the lawyer because one of my wonderful, one of my wonderful friends who is in America, who's our insurance agent, Tony Opay. Okay, so if you need any type of insurance, Tony is our guy. He is my guy. He is the guy. Okay, so we are doing a strategy. If you haven't heard about our insurance strategy, all of our operating capital actually goes in an insurance policy between Tony and another company. So we have some phenomenal strategies that we use to limit risk. And you can, get with me and talk about how we are doing that with our corporate funds. And so when capital comes in, then it goes into the insurance policy, and then it's just a whole thing. Anyway, so Tony is Kenyan. So when Tony found out that my son got married here, so my son is also an insurance agent under the same company, GFI. So if you don't know GFI, they launched at the beginning of last year. It should be only a year. The beginning of last year, a bunch of people that were at World Financial Group, WFG. So a bunch of people that were at World Financial Group, and their primary claim to fame is IULs, Indexed Universal Life Insurance Policies, and they show you how to be your own bank. So World Financial Group I don't know if you know the entire insurance saga that dates all the way back to A.L. Williams in the 80s. So for those of you that know me well, you know that I love the A.L. Williams, the A.L. Williams 1988 conference, Do It. And it is a speech called Do It. And it is still roaming around since 1988. And it is just the most inspiring like speech that if you ever need a pick me up and you guys sit up here and make these calls, listen. You need a pick me up. You listen to that speech by A.L. Williams. So people that were with A.L. Williams that moved with him to when Primerica Financial Services bought, I cover this in my book. This is like one of my historic stories. Okay, so Primerica Financial Services, this is not my story, but it's just like my history because I was in Primerica Financial Services like a long time ago in the 90s. That's another 90s. Mom, what were you doing in the 90s? I was at Primerica Financial Services. Anyway, so at Primerica Financial Services, so he, Citibank at Smith Barney, right? Smith Barney and Citigroup. They started that, they bought his company and all the insurance agents that were following A.L. Williams went over and moved over to Primerica Financial Services. So WFG is a spinoff of people who left Primerica Financial Services and started World Financial Group. Now, GFI is a spinoff of World Financial Group because they were upset because there are retiring agents that have been in this journey for 30 years and they started to fire these people and not give them their residual income from their insurance sales that they were promised. So these guys coupled up with two powerful companies. So a bunch of people from WFG, this is like the Patrick Bet-David move. If any of you know this stuff, okay, you know how Patrick Bet-David left WFG and then he started and he exited and started. That's where, the whole Patrick Bet-David infamy comes from. And then Grant Cardone was like going to join with Patrick Bet-David. And then recently, so Grant Cardone is now talking about he was going to join the team at WFG. And the whole purpose of WFG, like I said, they actually got a $100 million investment from Sequoia Capital. Okay, so all that happened last year. So Tony works for this company, GFI, with all the guys that left, and he is phenomenal. So Tony called me. He's like, oh, you're in Kenya? Okay, there's some land. So this land I'm going to go see tomorrow is 25 acres of land. And that 25 acres of land, we can do a resort on. They're asking $150,000 USD per acre, less than that, a little less than that, because it's $3 million USD to buy that land. Now, just so you know, all the resorts that are over there, like Sandals and the Sands and like all, Marriott, Hyatt, all the popular resorts are there. And so it's some of the whitest sand beaches in the world and one of the most exciting places to be in the world, Mombasa. And then we can do like a exclusivity kind of thing, and we're going to look at putting a helipad in there and all that. So yeah, we are going international, baby. So now the other deal, so I'm looking at two deals. I'm going to take the train over there. It's 6 hours from Nairobi. So the other one that I'm going to look at is a resort. So it's an Indian family that owns that resort. they have a 99-year lease. So that's what I was going to say earlier about the freehold. So the way it all works is like, if you're Kenyan, then you can own land forever. You can buy land. But if you're not Kenyan, it's kind of like what I experienced back in Mexico. I'm thinking about another 90s story now. Back in the 90s, we were going back and forth to Mexico, to Tijuana from San Diego. That was part of the 90s. And one of my friends had this huge mansion that he had for $1,500 a month. And he'd go back and forth from Tijuana, and it was a gated, secure community, just like the one I'm at now. So what's interesting is the resort that's already built. So they want $13 million for that. So I'm going to go look at it. And I've been talking to another friend of mine who did a podcast with me. If you looked at, you haven't been on my YouTube channel, it's at Clearview Eastern Fund. Don't look up Tanae Williams, look up at Clearview Eastern Fund, because that's where I'm streaming now, and I'm streaming on Instagram and over there. So basically and I'm saying that word basically. You see, this is not good for me. This is not good for me. I deleted the word basically from my filler words way back when I was in my 20s, and now it's coming back again. Now I'm nervous doing this YouTube live stuff. Anyway, the resort is going to have me stay there. So they just sent me the pin, and he said of where the resort is. And I have a complimentary stay there. And I'm scheduled to meet with the general manager on Friday at 10 a.m., followed by a tour of the beach property in the afternoon, approximately 2 to 3 p.m., timing remaining flexible as required. Okay, I'm pleased to confirm a 2-night stay at the resort on a bed and breakfast basis. Ooh. Ew. And I don't know who's calling me from like an 800 number and why. Okay, so that's exciting. Looking forward to meeting everyone. So you're saying when I check in, then they're already going to have my name at the front desk? So they know that I run a private equity fund, and they're selling. So they have this property that's on a 99-year lease that started in 1992. So that 99-year lease ground lease that started in 1992 is literally $547 a month. No, a year. It's $547,000 a year for the ground lease. And there's still, so from 1992 until now is when, but you can renew the ground lease. So that's what I learned from the lawyers last week is they have, and there's different deals here. So I also looked at a condo brand new. The Chinese are over here building brand new, and the Somalis condominiums, and then the Somalis are building apartment buildings. Of course, I got to check it out. So the Somalis are building apartment buildings. The Chinese are building condominium buildings. So I checked out, and I'm going to post it. I kind of posted it, but I didn't really post it. I posted, if you looked at my pictures, I posted a picture of me and a girl, and I had on a construction hat. That was me walking through they literally have a office already of people pre-selling these condos, and they're buying them up left, right, and center. And it's not from us. It's not Americans that they are looking for. It's Kenyans that are here. And my son says it all the time, rich Kenyans. These Kenyans over here are rich. They are not looking for any tourists. They do not even really have a tourist thing happening here. That's not the thing here. they have money already. Okay, there's people that are already independently wealthy. I mean, everybody's got a housemaid. It's ridiculous. Everyone's got a housemaid. Um, I was talking to the lawyer. I was like, yeah, my son talks about it all the time about how Kenya is so wealthy because everybody, like, even if you're a cashier, you can have a housemaid. And she just reflects and says, oh my goodness, you're right. She goes, my sister had a baby and she moved to America and she had to have her mom, not her sister, it was her sister in law. And she had to have her mom go to America to help her with the baby. And she said she just didn't know how in the world she could ever have a baby and not have a housemaid to help her. She said, you've got to go, I don't know how, you've got to have dinner ready. She thought it was insane not to have a housemaid. So, let me tell you, it's different. What you've been told is not real as usual. As usual, what we've been told and what the propaganda says about other countries is all not exactly correct. Okay, on with David now. Okay, he is going back to ask on the PG side, also asking about 24 months PG options. What do you mean about that? Question mark. Do you mean about Allie being the 24-month PG or just 12 months? Question mark. Okay, David's upload. They may need 3 years of taxes as well. Okay, credit score requested. Also, if you can provide David's upload, 3 years tax returns, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so all of this is happening on that concrete deal that we're raising capital for, getting ready for it to close. And they're just asking like all of these questions last minute. And then I bought someone to the table as well. Just in case this wasn't noticed, the U.S. is considering bringing back the current inactive draft. Oh, okay, that's a different conversation. Let me get back to my investors because I am not in that conversation. So if you notice, I try to stay away from all the madness because, like I said, propaganda. Okay, so Dan, Armando. Okay, let me see who else I'm gonna get here. I don't know why this guy Dan keeps coming up. Okay, already talked to. Ian. Yes. Ian, how are you, my love? And Ian loves me. He's probably wondering why I'm calling him from WhatsApp. It was just easier. It's a phone, Ian. It's a phone. I can do it. Don't you see me calling you? Okay. I'm going to call from my regular phone number and see if he picks up. Now, anytime you call someone a double call, they'll be like, oh, this must be important to me. Answer the phone. Okay. Let me call from my regular phone. And I got this with T-Mobile. I don't know how, but I can call on my regular phone and you will get a call from me from my regular phone number. I don't have to be on WhatsApp. So now I'm calling him again, my regular phone. What's up, peeps? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to my live. Welcome to my live. Welcome to my live. Peterson. Welcome to my live. Barlow. Trendy. Soil. Welcome to my live. And it's so funny because on the screen it says like there's 0 people looking at my live, and I don't understand how there's 0 people looking at my live when I see you guys. Oh, Tony was there. Hey, what's up, my boy? There, I was just talking about you, Tony, about how awesome it is at GFI. And I don't know if you're still there. Okay, so thank you. Okay. So this person did not answer. All right, next person. Let's see, who's this person? Stephanie. This person looks like someone I need to call. I'm going to call her. Yes, I know who she is. How did it do like a no answer like that? That's weird. Okay, we're going to call. I'm going to know she's in New Jersey. Okay, come on, answer the phone. Like, how come it did that to me and did a weird, like, 3 rings? Okay. So, again, disclaimer for accredited investors only. And I don't know why that's doing that. Okay, so Jeff. Okay, Omar. Let's see. This keeps them. Is this from? I just want to make sure. Okay, this person here. Let me try. Oh, okay. So disclaimer, we try and keep everything really, really private. So even though I'm talking about people's first names, you don't know them and you don't see my phone. So I am keeping their privacy still private. But we feel confident in our underwriting for all of the assets that we do, and we let the banks do their underwriting. So if the banks are willing to give money, then we're last money in. Always, we're last money in. The bank is not going to approve, especially these M&A deals. They're not going to approve the deal if, they're not going to go and do a $9 million loan. We're just putting last money in. So we're last money in because institutional investors have already looked at it. The debt has already looked at it. And so that is what it is. So let me see this person here. So, this is a general solicitation, what we do. We were talking about with Hero, what we were, what is 506C or 506D or this, all of that. So we registered with the SEC to be able. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Tanae.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm amazing. I was just calling everybody in the group because we've got some stuff closing and want to see who's ready to partner with us.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So what have you been up to lately? Is this a good time to chat?
No, I'm actually getting ready to head out the door.
Okay.
But,
Right.
I'd love to catch up with you.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to just send you like the deck that I just put in the group, so you can see it, and then let's do tomorrow. How's tomorrow? Is that better?
Yeah, I'll be home tomorrow.
Awesome. I'll give you a ring. Thanks for picking up.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.
to, that's cool. Okay. And I will send her. So she answered and she wants information. And that's all we need. We need people to answer and want information. That's all I need. Okay. Answer and want information. So then I'm going to go ahead and just add her. And the fact that I had created this group. So this was like a money group. This was a group where we're all going to get together and invest with each other. We agreed to invest with each other, and or we agreed to maybe PG on each other's deals. Okay. So that's why these calls are going so easily. Like, oh yeah, what's up? Because I already, was considered an authority at our last event. And then I've been introduced by Carl Allen as a private equity fund that's going to invest alongside other operators. So obviously, if I'm a private equity fund, we're raising capital to do the deals. And so that's what we do. And okay, so now this is Teresa. Okay, hold on. Okay, so reply. Okay, at Teresa. And everyone is looking to buy income, so I'm talking to other people that are just like me, that understand wealth, So I've been on this thing live with you guys for more than an hour. I'm going to cut it off and make some more calls. It is 10 o'clock over here. 10:30, 10:26. And I really am grateful for those of you that came and hung out with me for an hour or more. And it's so awesome. Okay, well, I got one more person. We got Ian. He's calling back. So let me do Ian's call. Oh. Okay. So he's texting me. Hey, Ian, I was just calling because we are closing on some deals. Wanted to see if you want to partner up. So he just wanted to know if we could text instead. And so I text him. Okay, so that's a text. So like I was saying, I'm going to sign off. And I will come back tomorrow talking about something awesome that we're doing. So what myself and a few of my other partners, if you noticed one of my reels recently where I was talking to Alok, and Alok, who is a management consultant, bought up to me, and he's going to be on the Change and Triumph podcast. So Alok brought up to me how the Thomas Crown Affair was one of his favorite movies in the 90s when he was, a whippersnapper looking to figure out what he was going to do in life. And I just screamed. I screamed because that was I was 26 years old when I saw Thomas Crown Affair. It was in the 90s. So I'm kind of like doing, who were you in the 90s reel right now? And that particular movie is why this next thing that we're doing is so exciting. Because like I've been talking about, okay, I'm in Nairobi and I'm making my calls, and I'm in Orlando, I'm in Jersey, I'm in wherever I'm at. Okay. And my thought process to be that way came and started from the Thomas Crown Affair, because Rene Russo was like, oh, I keep an apartment in Manhattan, right? And I was like, that's the coolest shit I ever seen. and then, they flew from New York City to Jamaica, and they had a hut over there, and then they had all these places everywhere. So one of my friends, Alok, was invited to a mansion party that we did in Atlanta. And so this mansion, this it's just an amazing property in ATL. And this group, Adrian, so Adrian and the Pretty House Guy. Do you know the Pretty House Guy? If you don't, then you need to go check out the Pretty House Guy, and you need to go check out Adrian Lucas Wells, who is also a real estate investor. And what they do is luxury co-living. So they're buying this beautiful property that they did get distressed. So we are keeping to our core values of buying right from day one. They're getting this property from a out-of-state investor, out of the country investor. The investor is Nigerian, actually. And he owns 2 luxury properties that he had built, and he's losing both of them. And so they've acquired those properties, and we're able to do a loan modification to buy a $3 million property. No, to buy a $5.7 million property. It was appraised for $5.7 million, and we're getting the property at about $2.7 million. She already has the property. And we're raising $750,000 is how much is needed to cure the arrears, to do a loan modification and take over the deed. And the interest rate on it is like 3.5%. That is how you buy right. So we're doing that deal, but let me tell you how we're doing it. We're doing something similar to like a timeshare, a cross between a timeshare. Okay, so he said, I have time, skills. Okay, he's probably going to tell me he has time, skills, and all that, and no money. Okay, he says, I have time, skills, and various human resources to contribute to a partnership, but not cash to put into a fund. I am in the market for capital partners, though. Is that something we should discuss? We are definitely raising to close on 5 different deals, and minimum investment is $250K. But if you want to join the team as a general partner, we could talk about how you might want to join us in that way for your sweat equity. Let me know. Okay, so that, there's always a way. There's always, where there's a will, there's a way, because everybody knows somebody. Everybody knows somebody who has, who wants to get into these private deals, because these deals are so exclusive. Like, you're not going to find them. You're not going to find them from your realtor. These the things that we do, you do not find on the internet. You don't find them on Google. You do not find a deal like that through your realtor. Okay, these are things that we find, and then you're investing alongside people that know what they're doing already. So it's all about passive. We are buying passive income. I have no interest in running anything at all, ever. If you haven't noticed, the only thing I want to run is raising capital and helping awesome people buy income. And we're really, really good at what we do. Okay, so he responded back. Okay, so what's he talking about? Okay. Would love to consider sweat equity opportunities I could contribute to. Can you tell me more about what those look like? I will send you the engagement agreement that we have. And did you see the presentation deck in the group? ? If not, I'll at you now. Okay, and then we're also talking about 24-month PG options. There are none that we know of, but David is asking. I don't even know what you're talking about. The alternative he mentioned is a buyout of shares at 24 months and asked to be removed from PG. 24-month PG would be a limited PG. Are you referring to us or are you referring to Allie? Okay. So I will do that for Ian. Let me okay. So what was I saying? Oh, okay. So there's two mansions in ATL, like in the same neighborhood. So the way we're doing it, so the one property that is only $750,000 to buy the income. And let me tell you what Adrienne does. Adrienne Lucas Wells is no joke. She's going to be on my podcast soon. Adrienne Lucas Wells does co-living. Well, no, not co. She does luxury co-living. So just imagine, I'm 52 years old. You're an empty nester, and you might be divorced or whatever. Widower, whatever, and you want to live in a really, really, really nice place. You want to live well, okay? But you don't want to go and spend $5.7 million for a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, or 7-bath bathroom with infinity pool and all of that. Like, you don't want to go spend $5.7 million and have all that on your own head. So what we've done is we've come up with like a program where we're going to invest together to get that done, so someone can come in for $250,000 and co-own that property. And so you could stay there, or Adrienne could continue doing what she does, which is renting to, she does luxury rentals for celebrities. So she serves a huge celebrity community. And then she does corporate rentals where she's making 30 G's a month on those corporate rentals. So insurance, so she gets corporate rentals, she gets insurance people, and she's making like $30,000 a month, sometimes $40,000 a month. So imagine you put in $250,000 and you're getting your share of that $30,000 a month that the place is getting rented for. And then we also do events. That's not it. We're creating a membership. So I haven't even put this all on paper yet. So we had a conversation, we had an event. There's another event coming up in April. And we said, okay. I said, I want in, and I've got some ideas. And so you guys are hearing this for the first time. I haven't even put the deck together yet. Nothing is done. All I know is that we've got 2 properties, and we thought of the Thomas, and I told them about the Thomas Crown Affair. It's so weird how this movie is having this kind of impact. And so I spoke to another guy named Sam, who I've got to have on the podcast too. So Sam is another international investor, and Sam is just like, oh, you know what, Tanae, because the vision is to have a place anywhere when you want to go somewhere. Have a place in south of France, have a place in Italy. So not only are we doing the 2 properties in ATL, then Ashish calls me, one of our partners, who is an attorney in New York and an attorney in India. So Ashish calls me and he goes, Tanae, I'm in Italy. And he was in Florence. So he's like FaceTiming me on a property in Florence that is another mansion. Okay. So this mansion needs remodel. It was appraised for $10 million. And the family who owns it is a multi-million dollar family, but people have like passed it on through generations and they didn't keep it up. We're talking like a castle, beautiful place, like with acres and acres of land. And so 2 sisters owns it, and they just want to sell. And I said, okay, I understand you want $10 million. And I got on the phone with them, but would you be willing to own or finance? And so the conversation was, yeah, we'll look at it. And then I said, you know what? Because here's the thing with international money, and this is the same conversation I'm going to have tomorrow. You don't know what the actual appraised value is. And then when it comes to appraisals and when it comes to international investing in general, you just don't really know. You don't know how much things are. There's not enough comps. I have, like I was saying, we did something with Alon. If you look at the podcast on YouTube or on Spotify or whatever, you'll see Alon built a hotel in Zanzibar. So I called Alon. I said, hey, I'm over here. Take a look at these deals that I'm going to go see in Mombasa. And so he said, no, yeah, those are good prices. So he, based on what he had spent in Zanzibar, in Tanzania, next door, building the hotel, which he's making $3,000 a night on. We're talking luxury. Okay, so we're talking super luxury, and he's making $3,000 a night on that hotel, and they just finished it and just opened the doors, but this is the rainy season now. So he's doing very well with that, and he told me that the pricing was decent. So I checked with him, I checked with the lawyer. I'm going to continue that process. Back to Florence. So I told these people, okay, it's $1 million. They wanted like some sort of down payment. They're like, oh, well, could you pay us half up front, whatever? And I said, how about you joint venture with us? And we put the money into fixing it up, and then we'll finance it. We'll owner finance it with you. Now, back in 2009, I already bought several Airbnbs that I had for several years, owner financing. I had one in south of France. I had one, where was that other one? It was like one was in south of France and the other one. And I never saw those properties. I never got to go to any of those properties, but I bought them with owner financing. And this other guy who sold them to me was running the Airbnbs. So in Florence, we have an opportunity. So we're going to start putting these international investments and U.S. investments, and we will be able to privately have a place to go, very much like a resort, like a timeshare, but not, because there's just, a few partners that are owning it and will own the house together, like they do jet timeshares or whatever. So like how they do the sharing of one jet, and then there might be like 20 people that own it. But it's the best way, because of course that must have been how timeshare started in the first place. It's like a few people got together and said, oh, okay, well, we can't afford this, but together we can afford it. And that's all I'm doing, right? As a syndication. Hey, I can't afford to like buy this business for $6.8 million that's going to pay me $1.8 million a year. But, we could come in together and we could buy it. So there's like 5 partners of us on the deal. Hey, we're going to come together and we're going to buy this business, and then we're going to buy the next one and the next one. And that's how we're going to do it. And that's what it's about. And so that's what we're doing privately. That's what a mutual fund is. But you've got always like some manager that's like, doing the puppeteering, and you just get feed to death. And when I say feed, I mean FEE''D. So anyway, this is what we do, and we're excited about it. This is the journey. And if you want to join the journey with us, we would love to have you. So I'm now finished talking, because I could talk forever. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.